meantime, if you have to leave for any reason, right, you can just take down my number. You can text to me and I shall get back to you soon enough, right? So indeed, what I'm going to do today is actually there is a secret system in your body that no one is talking about. So what do I mean by this? Let's take a look at this lady. She is from Indonesia and she has been suffering for a couple of years with a lot of painkiller. She needs the aid of a walking stick. And what is surprising, right? In the first 15 minutes of the therapy, she's able to walk without the aid of the walking stick. And not only her, but hundreds or perhaps thousands has benefited from this. And some on the first therapy and most overnight. So indeed, people will say, OMG, how does this thing happen? How is it possible? A well-researched approved drug isn't working for her, but something else is. So the topics that we're going to cover tonight, we're going to explain, number one, the history behind the terahertz energy. And second, the science behind terahertz. The short name is THZ. And the third, ideas worth sharing. You're going to hear lots of life-changing experiences. And we're going to all settle with question and answer at the end of tonight's presentation. Yep. So before I start, let's read on the general disclaimer. The iTheraCare device is a certified household electrical equipment. It has been certified as safe to use. It emits no harmful radiation, and it has labels allowing for its distribution internationally. The iTheraCare blower is not a medical equipment, and the manufacturer provides no medical advice. Users understand that the device is not intended to be used as a medical device or for diagnostic purposes on which reliance should be placed. Its use is not intended to be relied upon in lieu of medical treatment or advice by a trained medical care provider. Users understand that they use the iTheraCare blower at their own risk. Always consult your doctor or other healthcare professional with any questions regarding any medical condition or for specific guidance regarding the optimal use of the iTheraCare blower, nutrition, or physical activity. So this is a standard operation procedure because nobody can actually make a claim or proclaim. So that leaves with a lot of people, wow, I'm confused. Since it's not in the textbooks, I'm going to share with you today. I'm going to share the real science and the real history behind this technology. So we just have to strike a balance. Getting healthy is expensive. Getting sick is more expensive, especially it's only become expensive when it is not working. So in order to strike the balance, you got to use a lot of initiative. So what do I mean by that? Right? Sometimes you just simply have to trust your own gut feeling. If you feel better, you feel good, that means it's working very good for you. So now, I found a technology that provides the lens into ancient healing practices. So this was completely left out of the medical textbook despite the first discovery more than many years ago. Yeah. So indeed, we're going back to the class of history. Hippocrates, the ancient Greek father of medicine, in his theory, he stated, if there's a way to hit the bones, literally, then all diseases can be treated. So there's two strong messages. Number one, all diseases can be treated. And second, if you found a way to hit the bones without burning yourself. So how is that possible? Right? So we're going to unravel that today. And his theory has been supported by the genius Albert Einstein. And in his theory, he followed up, future medicine will be the medicine of frequency. So when he talked about the future, we are living his future time. That is our present time right now. So indeed, Albert Einstein's theory has come into realization because it has been seen in a lot of Hollywood movies, especially the sci-fi movie, all those space adventures. We will notice that if someone gets injured, they will be placed in a med bed, something like this, and they will have lights of ray passing over them. And in just a couple of minutes, they will come up unscathed as though nothing happens to them. So indeed, in reality, whatever that we have seen in Hollywood movies, it becomes true enough, right? So what is happening? This is terahertz wave that was discovered by American scientists. We are talking about in 1980s. Wow. So that was about 41 years ago. I'm sure for those American out there, you have not heard this. For those the first time, I'm sure today you just got to know about this. So terahertz is an electromagnetic wave band between microwave, that is the electronic, and infrared, which is the photonics. So what is great about this frequency, or I call it the energy of terahertz, it is non-ionizing, meaning it will not create any free radicals in the human body cell. However, it can penetrate through clothing, paper, and also glasses, right? We're talking about this. So indeed, what is amazing, we want to find out about this energy, which is classified or known as the terahertz 41 years ago. Yeah. So indeed, let me just say this. Okay, this terahertz technology is going to be the one of the top 10 most advanced technology to change the future world. And we are talking about, since it was 40 years ago, during the first discovery, we are living the present time of that future. So with that, terahertz has been widely used in communication technology, public safety, biomedical, archaeology, military, and identification. So if you look at it, right, we are talking about even the communication system that is on a 5G, going on the transition to the 6G, that is using on a terahertz. And they have already applied this in medical detection to make sure that it can scan through the body to detect if there's any cancer cell or whatever in the body. And what's more amazing, right, this terahertz technology has already been applied for body scanning in the airport security system. So if we were travel before the pandemic, right, we have to go through this scanning, right, this scanning, what do you call it, gate before you board the plane to ensure that you don't carry any contraband and you do not have any hidden weapon. And this has already been in use way back in 2014. So it is as good as 7 years. And what is surprising is actually made in China. And indeed, China has broke through many technology barriers, right? So I like to highlight this, right? Because everybody, even for myself, when I heard the first time that it is made on China, we will have a, what do you call it, branding China that is of low quality. But surprisingly, China has actually evolved many, like I said again, they have spearheaded many technology breakthrough. Indeed, in November 2020, this is from BBC News in China, right? China sent the world first 6G test satellite into orbit. They actually has been the first in the space race, right? So it involved to achieve data transmission speeds many times faster than the 5G. So we can say goodbye to all those very slow downloading of our handphones or any data for that. So the speed is going to be between 10 to even 100 times faster. And what is amazing is basically safe, because if we were to compare the present iPhone that we are using, it is still on 5G working on the microwave wavelength. That explains why after talking over a few minutes over the phone, you will feel that your ears is burning up, right? So in the long term, it's not going to be good because the radiation will permeate into your brain cell and cause a lot of stress and unnecessary complication. So with the 6G, that will be the thing of the past. And what is so amazing, right? 41 years ago, when in 1980s, the American scientists discovered an infrared light that matches the vibration, and it can resonate with human cell to activate the body cell. And this is called by the scientists in the US as the wave of life. And that explains, just like your heartbeat, it creates a wave. If it goes on a flat line, we are just as good as gone. And they are known differently and called differently. In Japan, the scientists call it as the light of life. And in China, it is considered as God's waveband. It's only the creator are able to give life to everyone in this world. So this is a valuable information if you really know how to harness it. And what do I mean by that? Because we all know that the terahertz resonates the same frequency as normal human cell. And listen to this, generating millions of vibration per second. Wow, this is just mind-blowing, right? I didn't expect to see this and to hear this, but today I'm sure a lot of you will see and look at a different perspective. So what we need is this frequency of terahertz energy. It will start to activate our cell. Even as small as the size of an atom, it does vibrate millions per second. You can't even count it. And if you look by the naked eye, you might be thinking and seeing that it's not moving at all, but it's actually vibrating millions per second. So what it does to our body cell, it will start to activate our cell. All those dormant cells, they will become active. And at the same time, it goes beyond the cellular level. It starts to strengthen our very own DNA. Why is that so? Because the DNA lies in all trillions of cells in the human body. So true enough, whatever Einstein said, that everything in life is vibration and everything is made up of atoms. So it basically, if you were to dissect everything to the smallest size, it would be the size of atoms. And these atoms are in a constant state of motion. So nothing in this world is actually a vacuum. It's always filled with something, and there is vibration all around us, right? So what we want to do, what does these two great geniuses trying to tell us? Either is from Hippocrates and Einstein. This is something that they're trying to tell us that's a missing link to a big, like I said again, jigsaw puzzle, right? So as I mentioned earlier, right, it was completely left out of the medical textbook, despite the first discovery more than 40 years ago. So we're gonna unravel that today. And indeed, what they were talking about is just in abundance from Mother Nature, which is the sunshine generally giving you the heat and the sunlight at a specific time of the day between 140 of the sunlight that will give you the frequency as what Albert Einstein mentioned. Wow. So we have to be very specific because the sunshine and the sunlight, if you're looking at, it has to be in a country around the equator, and it has to be a specific time between 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning. Yes, 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning. So it is different when we are exposed under the sun between 12 noon to 2 p.m. Every day, what's going to happen? We will end up with our skin getting sunburned, and prolonged exposure, it will lead to skin cancer. As opposed, if we are under the sun every single morning between 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning. So it's just too bad, because if you're talking about the country that is in the north or the South Pole, that will be a different kind of heat, different kind of frequency for you to benefit. It must be maybe perhaps a specific different time for different parts of the continents or the world, right? So the question is, where will we every single morning between 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning? It's now a luxury. Nobody can actually goes out because of the pollution. And what's more, with the pandemic, everybody is under isolation, right? But more important, we will all be in a building between 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning, and I call it as a SBS, which classified as sick building syndrome. Yes, it's either we are still sleeping at home, or perhaps we have actually waken up, but what's more important, we are in a building. We either start work driving in the car, we are not exposed directly to get the benefit of the sunshine and the sunlight between 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. So indeed, we are very fortunate today because due to the evolution of technology, these both elements of Mother Nature has been harnessed into this great device, which is called the eye TerraCare. So if you ask me simply, yes, this is sunshine and this is sunlight, regardless wherever you are, regardless whatever the time of the day. Yeah. So now, who actually spearhead to come up with this challenge, right? In actually still made in China. And the company name, the manufacturer is Dishang. So Dishang is a terahertz technology research and development company. It is committed to promote and apply terahertz technology globally in healthcare industry. So we all understand that anything with regards to technology, a lot of the modern world, right? They are raised to create weapon of mass destruction. But we are very fortunate because this time the technology of terahertz has been there by Dishang to improve our health and life quality. Yep. So if you're looking back 6 years ago or 7 years ago, this in 2019, the third generation has actually comes up, the terahertz device. It's a combination of heat and light wave, new concept of therapeutic device focusing on full body therapy. So this has been used by a lot of practitioners. We are talking about chiropractors because of its heavy duty. And last year, 2021, this is the fourth generation. It looks like a red hot chili pepper. And indeed, it comes with 3-in-1 core technology, which is the terahertz technology, quantum technology, and optical quartz technology. So it's all new, smarter, safer, more effective, and portable, focusing on partial and facial beauty therapy. So it's a great news for all the ladies out there because you can hand carry it when you board a plane. So you can also use it if you go for a long flight. There, I said again, you have what I call it, over jet lag and all that, it will get back you in the best shape possible very fast, right? So what we're going to touch today about the eye TerraCare, the futures, number one on the safety, and second on the cell activation and the penetration, identification, and of course, number 5, user friendly. So we're going to touch on the safety. So as said earlier, it is safety use and zero radiation. So what do I mean by that? This device is certified and patented, safety and efficacy proven, right? As I said earlier, this is not a medical device, but indeed, it is registered as home electrical appliances. By having that category, it becomes a blessing to many people because with that, instantly, we have already shipped the eye TerraCare device across the globe. People in the USA, people in Europe, because it has conformed to the requirements of the FCC that is required in the US. Because it comes with a safety, what do you call it, safety unit catch and all that. And also it comes with the requirement as per the CE for electrical device that is required for the European nation. So that is it, right? It is a simple electrical device. And on top of that, it is also considered as it has a certificate of product design patent. And what's more, it has gone through 62 clinical test report issued by Beijing Research Institute of Chemical Technology. I have some of these, but mostly they are in Chinese. So I have no clue. I don't read Chinese. For those people who are Chinese, you can request and can forward it to you. And they have done this test, and these are the results, what they got from, right? For example, out of that 62, they have the test on inflammation, and the quantum value is about 5-star rating. It shows that the product is effective in this aspect. Comprehensive health quality, 4-star, malignant tumor, virus, diabetes, brain, lymph nodes, skin, and neurasthenia. So with that, number one, we're gonna make sure that it doesn't emit any radiation. Unlike most electrical device, when you use it to your body, what is happening? Your body will start to absorb a lot of radiation, and that will cause complication in the long run. So what I have here, this is a good same meter that I have, a radiation test meter. Let's take a look at the video first. What's happening? You can get it at any, what you call it, Lazada or any, and if it's brought to an electrical appliances, you can see that the number will start to climb up. That to show you the scale of radiation that is actually giving out, right? So it's just so you know, so it's good for you not to charge your handphone near to your bed when you're sleeping at night. So the same thing when it's being blown, and I have the same thing, and I'm gonna blow it and I'm gonna show you live. And this is what's happening. It is 0. Wow. It is 0 radiation. So that is safe to know. And that is really a relief, because on a long-term usage of the iTeraCare, the terahertz energy is giving you all the good vibes. And this is another test where they try to test it to remove all the UV. That means it consists of 0 UV radiation. That's amazing, right? Okay, let's move on. Okay, second, people were wondering, how does it activate the cell of the human body? Does it use like an antenna? So it is actually applied to resonance. We all know what is resonance. Just to give you an idea what is resonance and the frequency that actually vibrate the cell with this terahertz frequency, I'm showing you a tuning fork here, right? We have 2 different tuning forks on the left and on the right. And what is the difference? They are 2 different frequency tuning forks. One that is 512 hertz, and the other one on the right is 440 hertz. And we have a freestanding, what do you call it, a tennis ball, just to show, to make sure that the vibration or the resonance is actually vibrating this tuning fork. Let's take a look. So if you have a different frequency, it doesn't. Just like an opera singer, it is not the same frequency and it can crack the glass. But the moment when it has the same frequency, it starts to vibrate. And you can see the vibration of the right tuning fork make the ping pong ball start to, what they call it, bounce off. So this is to show that the studies, the discovery that they have done, the frequency of terahertz is the same as the normal human cell, generating or vibrate millions per second. Wow. Yeah. So with that, now we're going to talk about the third one, the penetration. So what is the whole idea, the benefit to us on the penetration? Number 1, you will heat up the bone marrow. And number 2, with the penetration, it can clear all the blockages, right? And number 3, it also eliminates body humidity. Let's just look at this. On the penetration, the device frequency can penetrate the skin from 20 to 30 centimeter. Just to show you an idea, how deep is 20 to 30 centimeter, I have here a ruler. If you still remember during your, what do you call it, school, this is exactly the full length of the ruler of 1 centimeter to 30 centimeter. So you just imagine, right? When I start to have the therapy or blow it in my arms, it basically will penetrate through my skin right to the flesh, and it can exit on the other side of my arms. So likewise, when I start to blow it, I just call it blow it on my head, it basically will go through my skull and it penetrates to my brain cell. Wow. And if you blow it on your right side, it will penetrate through your flesh, right? Through your flesh and right down to your vital organs. And what is amazing, that this thing actually, it is non-invasive. It is just the resonance, it is just the frequency, the energy that's going in, right? That vibrate all your cell. It is non-invasive, nothing has been inserted, and it's non-contact. You do not need to have it touched to your skin, and most important, it is non-consumable. So we do not have to worry about all the side effects of, like I said again, consumption. So the advantage of the 20 to 30 centimeters, the deep penetration, number one, it will start to improve your blood circulation. It will enhance on the blood circulation. Once it enhances, it will get rid of all those blockages. And second, it is also basically, right, reach to your bone marrow. Now we are nearing to what Hippocrates theory, hitting the bone, right, without burning your flesh and your skin. And the third one, with the deep penetration, it able to eliminate the body humidity. So this is something that I want to stress, because a lot of us, we will talk about, hey, we are talking about the body fats. And today, maybe perhaps we can actually remove the myth that what is more important, fat is good for the body, but humidity, water retention, that is not good for the body. So now let's see the visuals here. We have the skin. Once we start blowing it, it will penetrate through your skin, going down to your epidermis, the dermis, subcutaneous tissue. So with the deep penetration, it can clear all those blockages and enhance on your blood system circulation, right? And we just want to ensure, because on the terahertz technology, there's a lot of varieties out there, right? There is good quality, there are bad quality, just like you can find a Rolex watch, you can find any other watches. But with regards to your health, this is something that you do not want to take to be penny wise and pound foolish, right? Because you want to ensure what it has, the efficacy. So there are also various brands, right? They are just not being, what they call it, they do not have a research and development. So they just what they call it, a gadget, and put it out in the market. And what's the difference? The penetration is only between 1 to 3 centimeters. So what good will that be to you? As compared on the eye TheraCare, the penetration, when you blow on your body, it's going to go right in between 20 to 30 centimeters. So this is the feedback that we have. Some of our members, they did search online through Lazada, through, like I said again, in the US, right? And in what do you call it, Carousel and all that. So some of them say that, hey, I found something that is cheaper. It is cheaper. It looks good with a very presentable box. But the truth is that what happens when he bought this 10 unit and with the intention to actually give it away to all his friends and families. So what he didn't expect, after using it for less than a month, 6 units were broken and the electrical sockets at home burned out. Wow. So we have read a lot of cases of apartments in Singapore get burned completely, right? And even fatalities because they were charging any electrical sockets, especially that is not being certified. So this is something that you do not want to risk your life of your loved one. So what happens is that all the 10 units that he used, he doesn't have any after sales service for him to go back. So all that he thought that he saved money, he end up as a penny wise and pound foolish. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, so this is very important. The major difference, the core difference in the eye TheraCare, if you have the blower with you, you will take a look at it, what we have here inside here. So inside this tube, you will notice there is this crystal tube, right? So the eye TheraCare health device consists of terahertz tube crystal made with hundreds exclusive minerals ingredients. So what are those ingredients? That is a secret. I don't know what is that, right? So with high-tech energy conversion and induced terahertz through quantum entanglement, this core component is produced through high temperature molding technology, reaching almost 2000 degrees temperature. So be very, very careful, because we found out even they will copy exactly the same design. They will have the same color. And this is another one of them who shared it with me, that it comes with the tube, but it's just a hollow plastic tube. So when you have a hollow plastic tube, what you have there is a cheap gadget blower. So it's just like a blower, it just blow, but it doesn't have any efficacy. So you got to be very, what do you call it, caution on looking for the right product as far as health is concerned. So with that, what is the difference with the iTheraCare? This is a patented device. It has gone through third-party testing, and we can be rest assured what we have is the best moxibustion. So that is a combination of Chinese cytology and Western modern technology. So with that, now we come to the fourth, which is the identification. So just like a scanner, it can identify through our body. It will destroy the damaged cell, protect the good cell, and strengthens our DNA. Wow. So now, so people were asking, how is this possible that it can eliminate all abnormal or mutated cells? What is the science behind it? So I did on my own research, and I encourage you to do likewise. You can actually get and share it with me. So we all understand that terahertz waves smartly analyze the energy level of body cells and remove any disease-causing factors affecting them. So terahertz waves vibrate at the same frequency as normal body cells. We already know that, millions per second. When terahertz waves penetrate the body tissue, they pass through the healthy cell at constant temperature. That constant temperature vibrating million per second. However, they will cause unhappy cells to vibrate faster. So all those free radical cells, bad cells, they will also absorb the terahertz energy. So when they absorb the terahertz energy, they will also vibrate, but it will be faster than the healthy cell. So if the healthy cells is vibrating at million per second, perhaps they might be vibrating at trillion per second, for that matter, right? So what happens when it's vibrating faster, thus the cellular level temperature will increase. And at the same time, they will destroy these unhealthy cells in the process. So what does it mean? Basically, they will be liquefied. Wow. So when I got to know this, I say, this is not science fiction. It's simply a scientific reaction, right? And it's not rocket science, but these are all established science. The only thing that we don't know about this until today or 40 years ago, it was well-kept secret, right? So with that, terahertz wave together with quantum technology can penetrate deeper and faster compared to manual massage that penetrate tissue up to 4 centimeters. Anything more than that, you will end up with a body badly bruised. So this is called the cell physiotherapy, or I call it simply sunshine and sunlight, right? So it can penetrate between 20 to 30 centimeters. So what happened? We all do understand for cancer patients, just like both my late parents, they died of cancer in Singapore after spending more than $700,000, and they were suffering, and we have no clue, no idea about what it was before. So from that incident, it was a wake-up call, right? So now what we want to do is to prevent it, because we know that chemotherapy in the process, it will kill the cancer cell. It will also kill all the healthy cells. So eventually, you're going to have a very, very weak immune system. So with this, what is a major difference? It will start, like again, neutralize all those unhealthy cells, the bad cell, tumor cell, and the cancer cell, but it will strengthen and it will protect the healthy cell. Wow, right? As I mentioned, it's just like a scanner. Remember, it can scan your body, right? It's like an AI, artificial intelligence. So when it scans the body, it can find and eliminate and kill all the bad cells. At the same time, it will identify what is a good cell and what is the bad cell. So this is something amazing that I just want you to know, because I got this when I visit a medical center right in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur. And it's just like awakening me. Say, did you know disease starts to develop from our DNA? All we know that, wow, it's all started at the organ, because it's a chain reaction. When your DNA is sick, basically what happens, the DNA is inside the cell, then it will start to affect the cell. You're going to have inflammation. And once your cell is being attacked, you're going to have a sick cell that leads to a sick tissue, and the sick tissue will lead to the sick organ specifically. Whether if you have a heart attack, that means it's a tissue of the heart. And what happens when you have all these complications, that will make a sickly you. So understanding your body from its very basic level is imperative in maintaining our well-being and important in practicing preventive healthcare. So ladies and gentlemen, what we want to do today is to share about prevention measure and what is the next best step. So with that, we all know all the body system, it needs to have these 5 systems, right? The circulatory, the pulmonary, skeletal, muscular, and nervous system. And it has to work in tandem. So as aging process, it will start to deteriorate, right? So the big question is, how can you actually have a right balance? Again, as I said, how to find the right balance? Use your initiative. So it's simple, actually, right? Because when you start to touch your body, and I'm sure we have experienced, sometimes some parts of the organs, you start to feel this pain. So a painful organ is a signal of potential sickness. So that is a good signal. I'm just going to give you, why do people get sick? Because all these 9 out of 10 diseases, we are talking about diseases, they are due to blockages. Just to prove a point, let's take a look, right? The blockages that is in our blood vessel, right? So it cannot circulate, and then it will goes into a tumor and it have a growth and all that. So it causes a lot of pain, a lot of inflammation. So this is a very good to show inside the blood vessel. If you have a blockage like this, then you have a lot of serious complication. So a blood vessel that actually that is not being, like I said again, blocked, and this is what happened. Pain on the blockage area leads to inflammation. Let's just see this video. This is in Indonesia. When the eye therapy is blown on his chest, on the left, he starts to scream in pain. The penetration, right? So what is actually happening when it's blown on the right side, he wasn't screaming at all. And that is fine. And we were talking about it is non-contact, I say again, it's non-contactable. So the pain on the blockage area leads to inflammation, right? The inflammation will goes to become a growth inside your body, and it's going to develop into a tumors, and it's going to cause a lot of implication. So the moment when you have this signal, so these are what you call it, the very good early warning. It's like a telltale sign that is something is blocking, something that is stuck there. So what do you got to do? Quickly go and seek a medical attention. I mean, they will do another, what I call it, follow-up test to make sure there is nothing wrong, because when you have a heart attack, there is no warning. So this is basically a good telltale sign there are blockages. So what you can do is to start blow around your body and try to feel, because it's kind of a scanning. So if there is a certain area that you feel is burning hot, that means it's a good indicator that something is blocking in that organ or in that area of your body. So with that, the WHO report in 2020, in 21/9, 74% of global mortality caused by non-infectious disease. These are the various diseases that actually can be prevented. And how are we going to do that? Because the moment when you see a doctor, what's happened? If they actually tell you, okay, you are diagnosed with cancer stage 4, basically you have served a death sentence. They'll tell you, oh, you will just have another 6 more months to live. So that will be a very sad truth that you do not want to receive the bad news. So this is what we want to do, because understanding the body, that the health and sickness starts at the cellular level. We all know in the class of human biology, the human body is made of all the various organs. And once you dissect all those organs, they are made of various tissue. And once you dissect the tissue, they are all trillions of cells in the body. And inside this cell, they have the nucleus, right? And inside this nucleus, you will find all these X chromosomes, right? When you start to pull out the chromosome, that is basically your double helix DNA. from your genes, from your parents, and explains why we look like our parents, why we behave like our parents, and the bucket stops there. We do not inherit the sickness from our parents because it's simply wrong for you to serve the sentence out of someone else's crime. So likewise, in your body health, to understand right at the DNA level is just that we actually inherit the bad lifestyle of our parents, perhaps smoking, drinking, eating all the fast food instead of eating the real food. You got to eat the real food. So that will cause all the complication and you have the hereditary, right? So what is amazing, right? So inside every nucleus, as you can see, there are 23 pairs of chromosomes. Wow, wow, this is 23 pairs of chromosomes. So with that, what is important, this is where it is not being treated properly because the root cause of disease when it's treated is at the organ level. It's just like if you have a car that is running flat on the battery, right? It will do no good even after you fully service the engine because it will not start the car all over again. So you are not addressing the root of the problem. The root of the problem is right at the root level. Just like what is happening, we have to see this thing and it goes back to the cell. Literally, what you need to do in theory as it is, your cells need to be energized. It needs the terahertz energy for it to vibrate. We are not getting this every single day. So what happens? It becomes dormant. So once you have a healthy cell, that will lead to a healthy tissue, will lead to healthy organs. Unless if you're not getting the energy, then what happens? The cell's going to be weak and the sick cell will lead to a sick, what they call it, tissue that lead to a sick organs and you be sick. So it all starts right at the cellular level. So with that, this is just to prove a point, right, with the most relevant situation that we are in right now, the pandemic COVID-19 with the Omicron. So what is happening, we have here on the left is Dr. Martin. He's a medical doctor who was in charge looking after all the COVID-19 patients. So obviously, with the risk that he's facing every single day, he was also infected with COVID-19. So again, we understand how does the body works right at the cellular level. We also need to understand how does the virus and bacteria works on the human, because before it attacks the organ, it will basically starts to attack the cell of the body. So with specific of COVID-19 or Omicron, it will start to attack the cell of the lungs. So when you start to attack the cell of the lungs, what's happening is that it will start to destroy all your DNA. Remember, the DNA needs to divide and multiply first before the cell divide and multiply, right? So once inflammation come in, so what happened? You're gonna have a blocked nose, and then what happening? You're gonna have an artificial ventilation, oxygen, and what's more, your heart has to pump even harder, and some of them, they will need a heart and lung machine, which is called the ECMO machine. And I do have a friends in the Philippines, way younger than me, in less than 48 hours, he succumbs to death because of COVID-19 positive. So what we're gonna do is basically to understand how does the terahertz energy works, the sunshine and the sunlight, and what Dr. Martin did differently. So this is what happened, right? So Dr. Martin, he himself, this is a very great life-changing sharing. He said this is very good for treating cough, yes, and cold. And I just want to share, after 6 months using this, I do not have a single day with running nose or even cold. That is just amazing. So it kills even including bacteria and viruses, especially if your upper and lower respiratory infection. So the same effects of COVID-19 is just like what you are suffering if you are having a chronic asthma. And I myself is a chronic asthmatic patient. There were 3 incidents. I was totally gasping for breath, and I end up in a medical center with the oxygen down on my nose. So what is different that you got to do, you got to start to blow it at the nose area. When you start blowing at the nose area, remember 3 things that will happen. With the energy, what it does to the bad cell, it neutralizes them. And what it does to the good cell, it protects them. And what it does, it will also strengthen your DNA. So after you blow it at your nose area, you will realize that both of your nostrils will start to have openings that you can breathe freely. And what's more, I want you to open your mouth and start to blow. It's a very great warm feeling, and it's great for the bone too, right? So it kills the virus and bacteria. Breathe in the warm air and blow it at your throat area, because when you start blowing at your throat area, you'll be surprised. You will be coughing up a lot of phlegms, naturally, right? Because all these phlegms are basically blocking your air valve. So that is why you are actually gasping for breath. So I have not been taking any inhaler. I've not been taking any thick cough drop 6 months ago. So it was completely, and I'm no longer allergic to even cats, pollen, or any dust at all. So basically it's just gone and improved completely. Wow, that's just amazing, right? So this is good. And blow it at your throat area. Do not forget to blow it at your chest area, your front of the chest and at the back of your chest. It doesn't matter if you can't really reach it. If you have somebody, that will be great. If not, you just blow it, because it can go the penetration of 20 to 30 centimeter. And what's amazed me, after the first application or the first therapy, you can actually take a full deep breath. Yes, and how can you actually ascertain that to the test? You try to do the blow pressure. When you blow it, you have that pressure. So that is just life-changing experience. And basically, we have read in the papers how many fatalities because of chronic asthmatic attack. And again, like I said again, this is not written in the books. If it feels good, why not? This is not voodoo, right? It's not witchcraft. It's not banned. So these healers basically know that it works, and it has sound theory, right? And you just need to know and love the science of terahertz energy. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, you are encouraged to blow it at the back of your chest, right? So this is good, because once you have COVID-19, they will start to attack on your lungs, on the inflammation. It will block your nose. You can't even breathe. You can't smell anything. So you do not want to have it lingers in your system. So this is Omicron is getting higher and higher, but like I said again, need not to worry on it, because it's nothing like of a serious case like the COVID-19, since everybody has gone through the 2 vaccination jab at least. So again, what is the difference that Dr. Martin did was that he understood the whole thing, and he understood that getting healthy is expensive, and it's become expensive when it's not working. So he did things differently. He started to remove the blinders, because he got to be relevant. You got to be relevant with the modern technology kind of a virus. So you got to apply with the right tools and the technology to use it. You just have to trust your gut feeling. And he says, like any other doctor, you are the best doctor for yourself, right? So you will start to feel better and all that. By all means, it's working good for you. We all do understand that the body cells regenerate by itself. God's created human that it can heal by itself. As it is, the stomach will regenerate new cell on every 5 to 7 days. The lungs, the liver, the skin, the DNA every 2 months, your blood, your bone, and the brain. That will be every 1 year. And just so you know, the smallest blood vessel in the human body, I'm going to test for those who are the first timer, in which part of the human body is the smallest blood vessel. I'm sure a lot of you will be saying it's a heart, right? You'll be amazed to realize that the smallest blood vessel is actually in our brain. So it is imperative you have to keep your brain to make sure there is no fluid blocking it, right? And then what happens if you have a healthy body, but the brain is not functioning, that is as good as we are good as a vegetable. So the big question is, how are we going to do this better, right? So here, as I said earlier, what Hippocrates was mentioning, hitting the bone, right? And you can see that all this in our vertebra is the longest bone. And I'm sure some of you have read in the papers what lies in the vertebra. This is something amazing, because all that our organs, right up to our private organs, we have these fault lines. These fault lines, or I call it the nervous system that connects from your organ right down to your vertebra. I read once in the Singapore Straits Times newspaper where there was a sports injury of the European footballers, and the doctor did was actually insert a needle right into his spine, the backbone, and extract his very own adult stem cell. Wow, have you heard about it? I heard about all the other stem cells, but this is your very own adult stem cell. And once they actually done was to inject to the parts of the body that need the fast recovery. So here, what is a good thing to know is that you can find the fault lines. For example, if you are suffering with a lot of headaches, migraine, you're having a earache, basically, you try to find where the fault lines, and you'll be surprised. It actually lies between the C1 and the C3 of your vertebra. So all you got to do, take your sunshine and your sunlight and blow it at the back of your vertebra. So with the penetration, with the energy, what is happening, it will start to vibrate your dormant adult stem cell, because all this while, they have been living in a cold storage. So once they receive the energy from the terahertz, they will start to vibrate millions per second. Wow. And with the heat, it will start to release your very own adult stem cell, and it goes to your organ specifically. So if it goes to the eye, it will regenerate to become the cell of the eye. If it goes to the heart, it will regenerate to become the cell of the heart, the cell of the liver, the cell of various things. So what is happening, by having the eye theracare, you somehow expedite the regeneration of all the new adult stem cell to your very organ. That explains it, why you have a reverse aging, because it's completely, you're having a new organ within your very own body. Wow, amazing, right? So with that, right, we all understand the pharmaceutical industry does not create cures, it creates customer. What it wants, you want you to be a repeat customers coming back again and again. It's a big pharma business, right? Trillions of dollars profit. So ask yourself, do you actually eat, or don't let your medicine be your food? So again, a pill for an ill, really, right? So perhaps you gotta ask, you want to live life drug-free or drug tolerant? So ladies and gentlemen, yeah, indeed what is happening today, we have the knowledge and we have the power to apply self-healing. Number one, how does the eye theracare does its magical job is with the frequency of terahertz energy, it starts to activate all the dormant adult stem cell that lies in the bone marrow. And second, with the heat to the bone, that means with a deep penetration, it starts to release all your very own adult stem cell in your body, because we all understand, and this could be the missing link of the big puzzle. Wow, again, there isn't any books that's been written about it, right? So you got to mix and match to find more information to understand the human body and how this, like I said again, strike a balance. So with that, the best medication, the best doctor is self-healing, right? So this is the best. Medication is not the most expensive medical fee. We got it all wrong. The best medication is actually prevention. So today, with the knowledge, you can apply self-diagnosis, you can apply self-regulation, and you can apply self-repair, because you are looking for something that is alternative to medication. So all this while, we are talking about a prevention, right? And you are in the know, you must be in the know, and you have the itch of living life pain-free. And that is how you can apply on yourself the self-healing power. So with that, the doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will interest him or her patients in the care of the human frame, in proper diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease. Quote and unquote Thomas Edison, the human frame. Wow, right? So now, eye TheraCare is suitable for various inflammation, various pain, various blockages, and various skin. So this is suitable. Remember, what we want to do is to prevent. So it is good and prevent to minimize the risk of heart attack, cholesterol in arteries, because we got it all wrong. We have seen a lot of all those athletes, suddenly when there's a heart attack, they die right on the field, whether it's footballer, whether it's what they call it, a rugby player, or even the Ironman triathlon. And that is what happening. So basically what you want to do is to minimize the risk. So you make sure there is no blockages. And we do have a living experience of someone elderly that's supposed to go for a heart, I said again, implant. So what's happening, he was given a month before that surgery appointment. So what he did differently was basically take whatever the medication that's been given. At the same time, he actually complements a combination of the eye TheraCare. So what he did with this technology, he started to blow it diligently in front of his chest, at the back of his chest, and he was doing it at least 3 times a day. Comes for the appointment, and he was taken by surprise when the doctor runs on this body check and confirmed that there's no more blockages, and the operation was totally being abandoned. So that is just life-changing experience. And we also have the, what do you call it, to prevent and minimize the risk of kidney disease or kidney stone. We have from America, right? Someone was telling me that he is supposed to go for an operation to remove all the kidney stone, and he was suffering in pain. So after with the eye TheraCare technology, what is being doing the terahertz energy, basically he start to see that all those when he passed urination, there was cloudy, and after a week, it's just as good as clear. Wow, that is another life-changing experience, and this is also great to prevent and minimize the risk of fatty liver, cancer, hepatitis. Please don't. Let's say it again, what we want to encourage people to have a combination. You still go take your prescription accordingly, but at the same time, you are also using the terahertz energy, right? What you do, it will improve on your blood circulation and all that. So with this combination, what is happening is that it, or especially those cancer patients that's gone through the chemotherapy, the good difference is that after the chemotherapy, basically it starts to reduce the side effect of the chemotherapy, and also to minimize the risk of pancreatic cancer and diabetes. And just a cautious to all diabetes patients, this is not like a magical thing that you do one time. To some people, you will see the big difference. So what happening is that you got to be very careful not to leave it in a certain spot for more than 5 seconds, because the heat, basically, if it's more than 5 seconds, you do not want to end up with self-inflicted burn. Just use it regularly and use it with, like I said again, safely, right? And again, this is where it is great to prevent and minimize the risk of Parkinson, dementia, and ADHD. We have a mother of ADHD child, teenagers. Sally, is she here? Okay, let me check if she's here tonight. Okay, she's not here. So let me just share with you the testimony is that this 14 years old boy, suddenly what happened is that he became independent, right? So he became independent, he started to prepare his own breakfast. Somehow he can coordinate the shirt and the pants, right? And what's more, the mother can have a good conversation, because before he would be fidgeting on the gadget. So he also won an award recently for best avid reader and all those stuff. So what is great is that, remember, we also have my friend, whereby his son needs to go for an open surgery on the brain because of the fluid that is being developing inside there. So while you're waiting for the operation, please try, like I said again, a combination. Take whatever the prescription, and you want to try this technology to have the terahertz energy, basically to remove all those fluid inside there. And I said again, do it regularly, do it 3 times a day at least, while you're waiting for the date of the appointment. And like I said again, the rest, at least you took the initiative, and see what comes may. that will be better alternative than have an open surgery of the brain. So that is something that you want to share with, right? So because our brains coordinate and regulate all systems in our body through our spinal cord and nerve, is just like a CPU of a computer, the central processing unit. So this is basically the smallest blood vessel is in the brain, not the heart. Yeah. And this is to show this gentleman here is suffering from cerebral atrophy since 2008, whereby a lot of patent chemical drugs doesn't do anything to him. Unable to speak for 2 years, after 20 minutes of therapy, he could talk to his wife. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in this world under the cloud of propaganda and fear. It's just now, though, we start to wake up from that fear, start to replace that fear with acceptance and knowledge on the technology. So with that, yeah, we come to the last of the topic with the user-friendly, which is easy to operate. You don't need any professional skills. You do not need somebody else. If you do, that is great. It's easy to operate, no professional skills or knowledge needed, blow-on effectors and uncomfortable areas. This is good even to a small child. And how small can a child be? Even as small as a newborn infant. Wow, we see in the hospital whereby they put newborn infants in a cubicle just to prevent on yellow fever. So when they got back home, they were advised to have the child under the sun every day in the morning. So right now, you can't do that if you are in the winter season, right? So by having the eye care, you can actually do that at the comfort of your home, 24 hours of sunshine and sunlight. So this is amazing, even to a newborn baby. So let's take a look. This is a newborn baby because a lot of them have, like again, bloated stomach, right? So this is really, really great. They will enjoy it. Because the cell of a baby, the cell of a child, the cell of an adult, and the cell of the elderly of any human being, we all need sunshine and sunlight, just like animals as well. So this is one of the pediatricians who blow it on the horse. Take a look at it. "10 minutes, I blew on the nostrils and the forehead. Now I'm blowing the lungs. Another for 10 minutes, I'll be blowing the lungs." There is a drastic change in its breathing pattern as of now. Hope we are going to do some wonders here. So go out there, share this with all the veterinarians, share this with all the pet lovers. This is great for the cats, for the dogs, and some even blow it on the aquarium water, right? And they come back saying that the fish able to survive without 1 week without oxygen, right? But of course, you're gonna try that with your guppies before leaving your expensive arowana. Yep, so we all know all living macroorganisms need sunshine and sunlight. So how is the best way to use this? All these devices, it comes with a 1-year warranty, because some of them, what is happening, right? You get excited. So as you are pulling it, what happens? The connection will end up loose. So sometimes you have intermittent power. So to avoid that, I would advise you just to have a hairband, right? Ladies hairband, put it over here and pull a little bit of allowance here. Pull a little bit of allowance so that you would not end up pulling it too tight. So likewise, whether it is the classic unit or even the pro unit, just have the hairband, put it over here, that will be good, right? And on top of that, some of them were asking, what would be the best? I said, it's simple. It's according to your preference. But I would love to go right to the top, because when you put it right to the top here, what is happening, right? It gives low, it blow low air, but it gives you the high heat, because you want the high heat to have the deepest penetration possible. and basically it's with the low air, so that will be very more comforting. And with that, they're asking, is terahertz radiation safe? Again, as I showed in the earlier slide, it is only 1/40 of the sunshine. Why is that so? Because we are talking about between the 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning. Because if you were to look in some information about UV rays of the sun, especially in the around the equator, it is different from the morning right up to the noon. So you do not want to have the high whereby you end up with a sunburn. So the terahertz radiation is non-ionizing. As I said again, it doesn't produce any free radicals, and it is considered to be safe for human at low powers, right? So basically zero radiation. And terahertz waves are strongly absorbed by water molecule. So what do we have here? It is not just good for the body, but it's also great to actually blow it in water. So you want to make sure before you blow on the water, you have to ensure that your container is made of glass, not plastic and not metal, right? Because those plastics, it will leach out those those gases, and it will mix with the water. So I agree, a lot of us, even myself, we do not like to drink water because the taste is awful. So what is strange is that this is to show you why people do not like to drink water due to the big water cluster. So the ordinary water, the cluster is just like as a size of a golf ball. So it's choking down your throat. But the moment when you actually energize the water with terahertz energy, it will start to line up all the water molecule in a single line. Just to paint you a picture, you imagine this, you're having 10% forming a circle and holding hands, trying to squeeze themselves out of the door, which is impossible. But after being terahertz energized, what is happening, all that 10% will be in one single straight line, and they are able to go in and out of the door freely. So that is a major difference. So what is the difference? Your palate, the moment when you drink the terahertz water, it tastes so naturally sweet. Yes, it's silky smooth, it's just flow down your throat. And I do have people coming back to me, they don't like to drink water. Now they just love the water with the smallest molecule. And this is a table to show the difference between terahertz molecule water, which is at 7.6. That is the smallest and is energized. And the nearest competitor, hexagonal water at 43. Can you just compare that? Look at the numbers, right? Numbers don't lie. Pi water is at 53.2. Electrolysis water at 63. For those who doesn't know what is electrolysis, is alkaline machine water. So those who have the alkaline machine, this is great news, because when you energize with terahertz, what happened? Your water will be even much more better. But those who doesn't have an alkaline machine, lucky you, because you save a lot of money, right? So all you need is just mineral water. You can see that they are colorless, but one water to the rest, they are great difference. So I like to emphasize, do not, like I said again, do not drink RO, reverse osmosis, or distilled water. So how do you know that? If you buy a water, right, you can look at the labels. If they are stated just everything is zero, they have no minerals. So those water, they are great for your exterior body, but not for internal consumption. Because the moment you drink all this reverse osmosis water, what happens is that it will start to absorb the minerals within your very own body. So you want to avoid that. So just get a normal mineral water, that will be good enough, right? And what is happening is that, why does we feel bloated every time we drink water? Because the water cluster is too big. So it cannot penetrate into your cell. The cell is the size of an atom. So once the water cluster has been broke down, what is happening, right? It can permeable into your cell membrane. So as it enters your cell membrane, it will repair the cell with the terahertz energized water. It brings all the nutrients, the vitamins and all that, and it strengthens your DNA at the same time. As it leaves the cell, it carries along with it all the debris, all the waste out of your cell. So what happens to the cell? You're going to have a healthy, energized cell with a strengthened DNA. Wow, that is just amazing, right? Take a look. This to show you what do I mean by energized water. This is a great demonstration to show, right? Yeah. You can energize right up to 4 liters at one time. So it doesn't have to be one glass, 4 liters at one time for 3 minutes. Energize terahertz water. It gives you energy, small cluster to be absorbed to your, inside your cell.
You got another glass? Bring the another glass. Glass with normal water. Bring here and pour.
Oh, it is not right.
Okay. Okay.
So this is normal water. So let's check the energy of normal water. Minus. That means this water contains no energy at all. So-called bitter water. Now let's check the energy of direct charge water.
So what you want to do, you want to drink water.
Great. Thank you very much.
Not when you are thirsty. So you want to create that habit to have in every of your room a glass bottle of water, so that even your children, right, when they see the water bottle, they will start drinking it. And it's great if you want to have it in the fridge to make it cool water. You want to make it into an ice cube, and what's more, you can boil the water to make your coffee and tea. And trust me, basically it just enhance the coffee and the aroma and everything. And it could be your secret recipe for a great dish. Yes, tried it. Yeah, so that is really good. So now, how good is terahertz water? Effectively increase the water content of cells and efficiency of communication between cells. We all know that the cell need the terahertz energy to vibrate, to energize it. At the same time, it needs to drink the energized terahertz water because of its small clusters, so that it can have a communication. Once there's no communication between cells, there's going to be a breakdown of communication. Then that's going to be a signal of bad health. Just to show a little bit what do we mean by big cluster. This is what happens to your body when you have big water cluster. You will feel bloated. So what happens? It's all the water retention. Yes, we need 70% of the water hydrated to the cell, not bloated inside the human body. Just take a look. It is so sensitive, just as your temperature. With an increase of more than 1% or lower than 1%, complication will start to arise. You're going to have your face swollen, right? Your stomach bloated, and this is what's happening. So indeed, you're going to have lots of blockages. So all this water retention causes the blockages, and it will develop into much more pain in the body. So this is a good shows to prove it. These guys are basically having a bloated stomach. I myself suffered from that. So just to ensure that do not blow the eye care after a meal. At least you gotta wait half an hour before or after meal. So what happens after blowing it, like I said again, without any exercise, without any strict diet, and you're gonna gain weight loss naturally. So that's going to be great news for the guys. That's going to be great news for the ladies, because weight loss naturally, remove water retention, slim and trim. So what you're getting rid is not the fats in the body, but indeed all the water retention. And you can also look, wow, everything's going to be, like I said again, a new life experience, because we know during the COVID, especially for men, after the lockdown, they can't look down. So of course you do not want to go burning fats, just like Hippocrates say, burning right to the bone. So this is fast and furious, seriously. Yeah. So how actually the best way to actually do it on yourself? Here I give you also the various meridian points in the body. All right. So just to show you, if you have somebody, they will be good. And it is best to actually blow directly on the skin. I myself personally would love the heat right on my skin rather than through a clothing. Just take a look, right? You want to start. Right? Blowing it at your palms. These are the meridian points, right? The sole. And the backbone especially to activate all the adult stem cells. So what she's using is the Pro device because heavy duty and it can last up to continuous 2 hours of blowing. Right? And what she's trying to do is actually when you are blowing at your arms, you try to blow in the same way as your blood vessel and going through right through your fingers. So if there's any, what I call it, any blockages and all that, it will clear the blockages. So it will clear all the fluid, the toxin. And to some of you, you might feel uncomfortable because the toxin or the fluid is actually being pushed out of your system. So what would be the difference, right? When you first time go to the toilet, wow, you can't believe the urine odor that coming out from your body. And even when you pass motion, you will see all those black stools coming out. And she did the demonstration to show you that it can actually penetrate through a hand and right down to his neck, that he can't stand the heat. So that is what you got to do. So to do it simply, all you got to ensure before you do the therapy, drink lots of terahertz water. Yes, what you want to do is basically you want to hydrate all yourself, right? So for first timer, it is good for you to do these 3 times a day. You can start in the morning, noon, and evening before you go to bed. As you have improved and your body kind of a balance to it, you can reduce it to 2 times a day. And once it feels better, you can tell by yourself that you can just need to do it only once a day. So once you have the body and once it's gone, surprisingly, the pain is not coming back again because what is installed is only all the active healthy cell. So you're going to start with around your palms, 3 minutes each if you have the time, and the sole of your feet and around your knees, right? At the back of your knees and around the pelvic area. And especially we have life experiences of ladies, elderly men and women who has this, what you call it, every night going to the toilet, waking up 5 times a night. And after the experience of just one therapy, blowing at the pelvic area, they sleep well throughout the night. So that is just amazing overnight. And this is also great for adults bedwetting kids if they still bedwetting. And great news for the men, if you have this ED problem, just blow it at the cell there. Once you start blowing at the cell area, you will be realizing that you have a waking up for your flag raising ceremony every morning without the assistance of the Viagra blue pill. So like I said again, we have lots of testimony about that. And the ladies and men, blow it at your armpit area. Why you need to blow it at your armpit area, right? You want to minimize and prevent breast cancer, yeah? And of course, at the neck, so that you want to minimize and prevent from lymphoma cancer. So you can touch your body if there's any lumps and all that. Those are all blockages, inflammation. So of course, you will feel a little bit of inconvenience because of the toxin is actually coming out and moving and it's pushing out from your system. So do not rush yourself by overdoing it, but do it gradually. And you will see that even your neck, right? You're going to have a lean neck. I am able to now squeeze my neck or else I can't. And you can start seeing your jugular line and your face will be more toned and blow it at the back. If you are alone, it's very simple. If you can reach, it's good. If you can't, simply just lay this on your dining table. Make sure that it doesn't roll about and just have your back turned around it. And you can just blow it accordingly. So that would be good. And cautious that those with high blood pressure do not blow at the crown of your head, right? And after this, again, drink lots of energized terahertz water. This is going to be great for you. You're going to love it. Like I said again, you're gonna love the water, right? So these are life-changing experience from the eye TerraCare users worldwide. And perhaps these ideas are worth sharing. Let's hear them out. So this lady, right? I just want to show you the timeline. Picture taken on the 4th of September last year, and on the 12th of September, and on the 29th of September, 22 days after using eye TerraCare device, 30% lump reduced, 90% pain relief. What others has done, and she feels great. So again, you can have a combination. While you're going for the chemotherapy, you do this, the cancer cell count will be down. And when you go for your next appointment with your medical doctor, let them decide if they need to reduce on your medication, okay? So with that, the human foot, this is great, is a very critical, complex mechanical structure containing 26 bone, 33 joints, and intricate network of 100 muscles and tendons. So it's always best to get the best efficacy, blow it at your meridian point. But if your time is a concern, you don't have that, you can go directly to the pain area, just like on this lady. She got Achilles tendons. She begged for doctor to inject her steroid injection. Yeah, but of course the doctor doesn't do that, which is good. And she used the eye TerraCare. I said again, terahertz energy. In 11 days, she is walking as new. And I myself, this is great. 20 years ago, I was suffering from cauda equina after falling off a horse. So cauda equina is like a Latin word. Cauda meaning is the tail, and equina is a horse at the tailbone of your back. So what is happening, once you have a cauda equina, it will be for life. Unlike slip disc, unlike what I call it, fractured bone, because once you are good forever. And what is happening, once you have cauda equina, it comes along with sciatica. So it starts to pull the nerve, and with the impingement of your vertebra, it is so sensitive because the moment it jerks, it snaps, I'll be lying flat on the bed. I can't even raise my feet up. So what is happening, it starts to pull the nerve and it goes down through your pelvic bone, and it will start to pull the muscles on your thigh, down to your calf, right down to your toes. So every single morning, I was suffering waking up with my body slanted to the left. I can't even carry my young child. So I spent lots of money on many medication, supplements, and also chiropractors. Basically, they were just temporarily placebo effect. So when a friend gave me this Sunshine and Sunlight 6 months ago or 7 months ago now, what was it? I was skeptical like any one of you. But since I have it, I'll just keep on blowing at the back. And what I realized after the 3 sessions in my first week, 90% relief. Wow, that was amazing. And right now I'm 99% and I fit as Jack LaLanne. So those who know Jack LaLanne, you can somehow guess my age. So cauda equina syndrome is not a disability, it's just a different ability. So this is another testimony with regards to the backbone. Or you're talking about a 93 years old lady, osteoporosis with spinal backbone nerve impingement. And the son was mentioning that she can't even move an inch and has to remain in bed. And after 2 months, twice a day of terahertz energy, you can see that she can actually sit up straight and do the cycle exercise. And what's more, the son was very happy. Now from 180 degrees lying flat to a 90 degrees vertical, she can walk with the aids of the walker and stop totally all those pain killers. So this is what we need to try for ourselves. Technology, ladies and gentlemen, this is just technology of sunshine and sunlight being harnessed into this device. So it's just amazing. That's what we need, sunshine. And this lady, I like to show you all these. Basically, the people are elderly people, right? They are not young people, they are mobile. So elderly people, we will suffer all this kind of complication. So when she do a prayer, she has to prostrate, standing up and kneeling down and all that. She's unable to do that previously. And what is just mind-blowing technology, in just short 15 minutes, this is what happened to her. And if you take a look, she's basically can simply just jog about. She was trying to say that she was walking out of alignment.
Saya buat alhamdulillah saya. Boleh jalan tegak. Boleh jalan tegak dan sembahyang boleh.
Right.
Boleh berlari lagi. Ha? Boleh berlari lagi. Boleh berlari lagi saya.
So tell me, ladies and gentlemen, is this worthwhile to share the ideas to a lot of people? You're gonna bless them. So with that, yeah. So this is basically good for spinal instability, disease of bone infection, and upper cervical spine disorder. You want to make sure and ensure that every time when you do the therapy, you got the best efficacy. So you have to discipline yourself. So not to consume cold water or cold food or even raw. That means no salad, no sushi for the next, like I said again, at least half an hour. After that, it's fine. It's not that you're going to have a strict diet. You can't eat it completely. And no fan and no air condition. I mean, it's not for the whole day, but at least 30 minutes after that, fine. And do not take shower, especially 4 hours after the therapy. You can take showers, but your whole therapy will serve no purpose. So you do not want to do that waste, right? So with that, this is another. He has a mobility. He can raise his arm. And after 30 minutes, wow, he can just raise his arm. And the wages arm, take a look at it, right, with a bunch on it. And this is another, what do you call it, with the frozen shoulder. And what's more, let's move on. And this gentleman, right, 59 years old, he got this knee ligament problem, right? As long as you have not gone through for a knee replacement, this is really great, right? So what you got to do when you blow it around at the back of your knee is start to regenerate the new cell of the ligament itself, and you'll feel that relief for myself as well. And all the arthritis, rheumatic, and as well, this gentleman too able to walk. And many of you have so many life experience, life-changing experience. I'm looking forward to hear right after this. Varicose veins after one treatment. Wow, amazing, after one treatment, right? And psoriasis, right? You're talking about the skin. And just so you know, the largest organ in the body is our skin. Yeah, the skin is also an organ. So what do you got to do? Make sure you got to, like I said again, use the water to spread it, right? So again, psoriasis after 10 times, even a burn victim, right? When you blow it, it will speed up on the recovery process. And what happens? Once it dries up, it will leave no marks. And this is a skin condition. After 3 years of using so many different lotions, all those FDA approved, and what happens? No difference. But with the terahertz energy, 4 days, wow, that is a great difference. So again, psoriasis, 6 times of therapy, and vitiligo, you don't have to go for bleaching in 5 months, and 10 years of suffering vasculitis. And once you treat it at the root of the problem, wow, to me, I say, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with this? Basically, sunshine and sunlight, use it, right? And this is a lady who can't clean his teeth. I also do have a friend who has triggered fingers. They basically drive with their palm. So basically, this is good. Remember, drink lots of terahertz water. So this is good. And no use. What's its experience? Some of you may experience like it's like a magic blower. The more you blow on it, it will reduce on the lump size. It will go in your system, and it just goes out from your system. But to some, you got to have the pain before you get better. Why do I say you have to feel a bit of pain? Because it's trying to remove all those blockages, all those fluid, all those toxin. It's moving right now, so it's just clearing it out. That is why you feel that pain. Continue to do it, and in short 1 week, you will definitely feel a new you. So that is a good telltale sign. So go on. Like I said again, it is just sunshine and sunlight. What's more, non-invasive. Yeah. So there are various, like I said again, healing process that you will go through. Now, this is what I get on Bel Passe. What is the major difference? A lot of Bel Passe patients, after even taking the superfood, what remains significantly when they talk, they still stutter. But what's amazing, when they use their terahertz and energy, they talk naturally as though nothing happens to them previously. So this is just amazing, right? So even great for bone formation. I do have a friend that is the same age with me, and what happens, he was actually hunching back. So once after the therapy, he is now standing tall, straight, and looks much, much younger. So with that, this is great. Again, what I said again, drink the water, terahertz water. When you take your medication, drink it when you take your supplements so you can absorb the full 100% benefit of it. And do not forget to also put it in a bottle. Make sure it's opaque, right? So what is good, you can hydrate your face, your skin better with terahertz energized water. And it's going to be great even than Evian spray. Yes, right? So take a look at this, ladies, right? So you can actually apply it, right? Crowd feet is all gone and lifting of the skin, yeah? And pigmentation, it will be lightened. And basically, ladies, if you have your facial cream, you can apply the facial cream and you can actually do that at the same time. For men, what I normally do, I just use the terahertz water. That's it. Nothing more than that. So you can see the eye back, right? Remove on that. And especially those who want to have a lifting face from the O shape to a V shape. So the more you blow, you look like a pink, black, pink group. If you don't blow it, you end up with a blue, black cruise, right? So another good tips, go and see a lot of all those facial beauty therapies. They are now applying a combination between their therapy together with the eye therapy. So you have the veterinarian, now you can go and see all those facial beauty parlor. Yep. And this is two different devices here. We have the classic, and if you notice, it comes with a 800-watt horsepower. And this is the Pro. It comes with a 1,200-watt horsepower. So it's just like this is a Ferrari and this is a Mercedes. So the power is totally different. It's just like a car, right? But if you really want to get the best efficacy, money is not a concern, go get the Pro. So here I have this iron lady. She's a strong advocate of the Pro device because she said, you want it best for your health, do not be penny wise, pound foolish, just go for the Pro. And we are very fortunate because she's here with us, and I'd like to call upon Salia to share her testimony why she's strong on the Pro. Salia, over to you.
Hi, Rashid. Hi, everyone. Very good evening. And I want to say first and foremost, thank you to Rashid for introducing me this wonderful, amazing eye Theraca blower, which have changed a lot of my family, me, and also my friends' health improvement. So, well, basically, I was a classic user at first because I just want to try to see when I saw there is a Pro, I was eager to have it. But Rashid was telling me to say, hold on, Sally, just use the classic first. So I did listen to him, but I still want to have the Pro. So I did get myself a Pro. And after I using the Pro, I understand it now very well. So because the effectiveness from the classic and the Pro is a really very different. So what I did is I introduced it to all my friends, and I'm so glad that most of my partners, they also invested themselves Pro, because people understand this. It's not expensive. You think it's 4,000 for in Singapore currency or 3,200 USD. Believe me, whatever that you spend, it's benefit you and also your family. Especially you introduce two people just sharing, and first you have to believe the product works, because you have to use it to have your own testimony is even better. So that's where you can start sharing with people. And believe me, once you get two people buying, you get back all your investment. So that's what I did, and I've been sharing with my friends, my partners, and they do the same thing. Yes, majority, even this month I've sold my people sold 4 Pro. And I've been very very blessed, and I'm so happy for them because they also have changed all their family relatives health tremendously. So that's the reason why this pro people keep on investing it. It's it's just that amazingly, because you not only use on yourself, you can use for the whole family. So it's really worth your money. So for me, I know I'm a firm believer because I've seen like Tony from Chicago. He have changed tremendously, and they're even as our Rashid, he even changed a lot, where his face from 2 years and now is totally different. So even me, I have my health problem, was just sorted out like no bloody business. Trust me, guys. I mean, I fall in love with this product, and I cannot live without it. Actually, it's always that I've been blowing every day without fail, morning and night, morning and night. That's all you need to do. And I mean, I'm a proud myself to say I'm a 59 years old woman. Yeah, one day I will show you guys how I look like, but not now. So so for me, I just want to say, keep on helping more people, keep on sharing, and share as many as you can with people that you love, that you know, that will have all kinds of health issue. So until then, yes, my sharing and now. Thank you, Rashid.
Thanks, Talia. Well, you heard it, and we're going to hear a lot more of a testimony. So again, it is worth sharing. It is worth sharing life experiences because you're going to get benefits, and that will be a subject we're going to share tomorrow, right? So this is how the Pro. It comes with a padded briefcase, so it's safe for you to bring it anywhere. And this is a lady with, I call it a lupus. She just want to have good health, and she got beauty too at the same time. And I've seen kids in this kind of condition where their skin starts feeling like a snake. I just want to highlight on the timeline, and this was actually in October and November and January. So what's surprising is just in short 4 months, you can see the transformation. And this child is actually blessed to encounter eye care resonance physiotherapy. Imagine what a future will be if she goes to school in this kind of skin condition. She will be subject to class bully, school bully, or even the society at large. So basically, we have a role to play. We are just basically the salvation, the guardian angels, or an angels in disguise, by saving someone else's spouse, someone else's parents, someone else's children, and you're gonna be blessed. Trust me. And this is one. Some of them asking me, what about the hair growth? They want to show. So on the hair growth, there's only one condition. You got to ensure that you still have the, what they call it, the hair follicle. If it has been barren all this while, don't expect any hair growth, right? So they want to see my face, and this was my ID and picture. As you can see, my year of birth, I'm 58 this year, with God willing, and I'm actually suffering all these blank spots, what do you call it, bald spots and whitening hair and all that, and I was actually looking sick. And this was taken 2 years back, 2 years back. And some of them gave me a picture while I was doing the Zoom, and they capture it, and they say, this is what I am. So I said, how long is it? Exactly 6 months ago. 6 months ago. So it's what it does, again, regenerating. You just have a new organs all over. So it's basically life-changing and reverse aging. Wow. So again, you will be walking the talk. So ladies and gentlemen, and what about the eyes? It's so sensitive. Remember, as long as it has not gone for any operations, you do not have to put any lens yet, you still have great chance, especially for glaucoma, cataracts, retinopathy, and red eye. So how do you go about that, right? So you can use this, make sure that you do not have any contact lens, right? So you can either blow it, right? You can look at the light directly, or you can close it. How long? 2 to 3 minutes. And what is the major difference? The major difference, if you're watching your news, you can somehow see the subtitle without the aid of reading glass. As it is when I'm now daily, I do not put contact lens on both eyes, just on one right eye and the other one without. And it improves on the vision, and some will experience a little bit of dryness. So why is that so? Because regenerating of new cells. So all you got to do, stand by this. Yes, the water, the terahertz energy water in the spray bottle, and spread it around your eyes. And this is great. Ladies and gentlemen, it's really great if you have, like I say again, red eyes, swollen eyes, and all that. You can feel big difference and fast relief. So that is just amazing. So this man was actually sharing his testimony that he has suffered many, many years after one doctor to another and all that, and found great relief with the terahertz energy. So moving on. Okay, so the 5 principles of terahertz is that it will activate and repair the cell, rapidly clear the meridians, rapidly detoxify the lymphatic system, rapidly remove water retention, and rapidly improve blood microcirculation. So imagine an hour of this, just an hour of this is equal to 10 times of acupuncture. Well, for those who doesn't like needles, 20 times of cupping, 30 times of gua sha, that is scraping of your back till it turns straight, and 40 times of massage. I went for a chiropractor. Every single session, it will cost me 80 Singapore dollars. So imagine 40 times, it will be 3,200. Nevertheless, it is not recommended for pregnant women. So again, you got to strike a balance, use a little bit of initiative. You do not blow it on the warm area, right? But if you're suffering from any of other pains, you can use it on other bags. So you just use it with care and feel for yourself. And if you have a heart implant, do not blow it directly on the heart, but it's okay on other parts of the body. Likewise, if you have any steel implants, do not blow it directly on the steel implants, but other parts of the body. Again, you got to strike the balance and use your initiative. So with that, okay. Oh, just hang on. Okay. And this is even great to have this eye care, especially during this pandemic. After every outing, all you got to do, you got to make sure that you have this to blow it away before you enter your house, because all those viruses will be stuck to your shirt. So when you blow it, you get rid of the virus, you liquefy them, and at the same time, with the penetration of 20 to 30 centimeter, it activates your cells. So you can apply these to all your guests before they enter your home, and you got a great subject to talk before lunch or dinner. So that is great thing. And do that to all your children because it can save life and prevent and minimize the risk of COVID-19. So what has been talked about the past by Hippocrates and the future by Albert Einstein, both of them were actually talking about Mother Nature at its best, the sunshine and the sunlight. Let's give out the heat and the frequency. And today we have a magical technology of the future that is in our hands. The sunshine and the sunlight harnessed in this device, right? So what's more, why do we choose Eye Care? It has a holistic health approach, right from the tip of the hair right down to your toe. And what's more, it is also great for drinking water, right? So what is I want to show you, this is the most expensive hair dryer, Dyson, 700 Singapore dollars. And this is a lady sharing her experience. This is great for the hair.
Eye Care really very good. Last time I haven't used Eye Care. I used a normal hair dryer. Then after I blow, then I comb my hair, it's still tangled. Then now I just use one time only, the Eye Care. Then after that, I blow dry already. I go and comb my hair. It never tangled. I'm very happy.
Amazing, right? So if this is 700 Singapore dollars, right? How much you guess the price will be for the Eye Care? And this is the price, 320 US dollars. And this price is for the Asia Pacific pricing. Just refer to the friends who introduce you, because in the US, it will be about 350 US dollars, just another $30 extra, because this is already included with the courier charges and as well as the VAT that has been paid for. So the Pro will be 10 times the amount, right? So it will be 3,200 or 3,200, and it is the world's #1 self-physiotherapy device. So look at the backs office, you will find on different countries, they are all the exchange rate that has been pegged. So you don't have to worry about fluctuation of the exchange rate. So for the USDT, you can also pay by USDT, Australian currency, Brunei, and all that. It's all in the back office system. So this is what we have, the iTerracare, which is glued for indoor, right? Because you need the AC power. But what's amazing, we're going to talk about tomorrow that we can use something for outdoor. This is the pendant. This will be a subject for tomorrow. And this is the best first line of defense outdoor. So it's a complete, again, holistic approach, best of the both worlds. Because in this pandemic, when we go out, we are still living in a society. We are not hibernating in a cave, right? So you do not want to end up putting on like a full scuba diving suit just to go from a point to another point. So you're going to be interacting, socializing with your friends and families. You got to take extra measures. Just having a mask, once it's down, that's where the virus will come and attack you when you breathe and eat something. So what we have completed. So what makes iTerracare Blower special? Improve your blood circulation, remove impurities in blood, improve metabolism, unblocks meridian points, stimulates acupuncture points, non-invasive, non-contact, non-consumable, strengthen your DNA right at the cellular level. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, iTerracare, terahertz energy for your family health partner. So if you ask me, every household, this is a need. You need to have one in every household because you have the 24/7 sunshine and sunlight, especially during the cold winter in Europe and in the States. This is even great, right? So what's more, this is your first aid kit and your first line of defense. And there is no pain that you have to go through, and you're going to gain lots of saving rather than paying hefty medical bill. So ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the present iTerracare. We are best. We have found that missing link. We don't even know what is a picture of that jigsaw puzzle, but we have found that missing link and we have decoded the secret to forever young and healthy. So you're going to be the product of the product. We love iTerracare. It'll take care of your health. So with that, I wish you stay safe, stay healthy, and my prayers, good more earnings wherever you are. And we have come to the final session for the Q&A. But before that, I'd like to hear any life experiences from America, from other parts of the country. Feel free to unmute yourself and come forward. Over to you, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone? Go ahead. We have Sherry here. Sherry, are you there? Maybe we would like to hear some testimony from you. Unmute yourself, Sherry.
I'm here.
Okay, great.
I have a couple.
Yep.
A new one is that my nail split from east to west in the middle of the nail.
Mhm.
And I decided to bandage it up. And then it came across my mind to use the iTerracare.
Mhm.
And overnight it mended together. So that was a good one.
Wow, that's amazing. That's
Yeah, I don't think you know that one yet. And I'm
Yeah.
treating my right
Thank
ear
you.
with the iTerracare. It's contact
Mhm.
dermatitis, and it was itching like every 15 minutes. And that has almost gone away completely. So those are my
Mhm.
testimonies on the iTerracare.
Yeah, I'm eager to share about your water problem that you don't love. You don't like drinking water at all. How is that now?
Yeah, I had a problem. We didn't grow up having water. It was milk, and it was always very heavy for me, and I couldn't drink it without lemon. And as soon as I had the water treated with the iTerracare, everything was light. And because it was so light, I'm drinking water all the time now. And I'm actually getting thirsty. So I know it's working in the body, it's absorbing. So I just keep doing what's good.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you.
Okay, we have somebody from India. You want to share your testimony? You can unmute yourself and introduce yourself too. Go ahead.
Yes. Hello, hello. Hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Can you hear me, Rashid? Okay. My
Yes,
name is
Dr.
Dr. Sanjay
Sanjay.
Sarkar. I am from West Bengal. Rashid, I'm so happy to use this iTerra Care Classic. I have so many in my clinic. One very recently, I have treated one having neck pain due to the compression of 6, C7, and C5 also. Okay. In a single sit, the patient removed the collar and she was to walk there. No word, the numbness, okay, no pain. She can move now after a single sitting, 180-degree rotation of her. I was surprised. In my 25 years of practice, I have never used such a device. I have never.
You're breaking up, doctor. Okay, we'll lose him for a while, but it's a very good testimony, and especially coming from Dr. Sanjay. You have actually muted yourself, Dr. Sanjay. You can unmute yourself again. You have pressed a button accidentally. Are you there? Okay, I'm going to open to any one of you guys. Yeah, doctor, go ahead.
Okay, okay. Rashid, can you hear me, please? Rashid, can you hear me now?
Good, good. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. And one more, yes. And one more case, a heel pain, the calcaneum spur. After 4 days, the calcaneum spur, treating in a physiotherapy clinic or by medicine, it is so difficult. It needs some lifestyle management, the changing of shoes and the weight management. In my past practice a few years, I was so it is very critical to minimize to tackle such pain. But I was surprised that after 4 days of treating one more doctor, actually I was treating one more doctor, and the pain gone. I'm very surprised, Rashid. And one more case of a frozen shoulder. In a single sitting, the patient can, the flex her arm 180-degree. I was so surprised.
Wow. That's, I mean, I'm glad to hear, but again, this is something to wonder, because a well-researched FDA drug isn't working for them, but something else is. So that's just amazing.
And recently, having chronic.
Okay, Dr. Sanjay, thank you very much. And indeed the connection wasn't good. You can help me by text, by typing, and then we can read it over for everybody. Okay, so I think there's intermittent connection over there.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will share it on WhatsApp group. I am on your group. Share it definitely.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sanjay. Looking forward. I'll be doing another session in just a couple of hours. That will be about 11 a.m. Singapore time. So 11 a.m. Singapore time, that will be in the US, 7 in the evening, and I will forward right after this call, right after this Zoom. Okay, do we have anybody else who wants to share testimony, life experiences, or even to ask questions? You may unmute yourself, introduce yourself too. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Rory.
Hi, yes. I was introduced. Oh no. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Where are you calling from? We got Rory, and we also have Hori from West Malaysia, East Malaysia, West Malaysia, East Malaysia. Okay, Rihanna, is there anything else that you'd like to share with us, Rihanna?
Yes, I have a question. The other time, the last presentation you did, you said put the spray in an opaque bottle. What was the reason for that?
Okay, the reason for that, because why? You do not want to have lights enter it, and basically it will disturb the frequency. Just like I said again, you want to have it here. So that is the best. So anything that you keep it in an opaque, that is better. Even for the glass container for itself, if it's opaque, it's even better, right? But I don't have a opaque glass container. So as long as it's glass, it's better than metal, it is better than plastic. But if you can get an opaque glass container or glass jug, that will serve great, because you want to contain the energy inside there.
So if it's transparent, it will dissipate.
Yes, it will dissipate. So like I said again, if you have a small bottle, it's fine. But if you are having quite a big bottle, so you do not have to renew the water every single day. So it's good. Basically, terahertz water or terahertz energy water, it is good for 1 month, right? But I do not encourage you to keep stagnant water for too long. Why do you need to keep a stagnant water when you have the device, the technology in your hand? You just need 2 minutes and all that. So always drink fresh water. So do not keep it for too long. When it's just like a river, it's always good to drink fresh flowing river water as opposed to a, what do you call it? Especially if you ask me honestly, I would rather you use the water right from your tap rather than buying all those plastic bottles, right? Water in there, because you do not know how long it has been produced, and with the exposure under the heat, the sun, and all that. So if you have a water filter at home, as long as it is drinkable, so the water has to be drinkable. It serves no purpose for you to energize the water if it's a muddy water. So it doesn't make any difference. So it has to be a drinkable water. So again, ensure it's mineral. So if you have a water filter at home, ensure that it is not a reverse osmosis water filter. So you do not want that. Remember, those are waters good for your external body. So not all water is the same. Yes, they look colorless, right? But not all water